Hi class, so this will be the first video for quarter 2 week 2 lesson which covers parallel lines and transversals. These concepts, parallel lines and transversal lines, are not anymore new to you because these were introduced last week, no? So you were able to differentiate these types of lines. Kailan natin nasasabing parallel? Kapag ka ang lines ay hindi nagmi-meet pero nasa iisang plane lang sila. They are coplanar. So, sa transversal naman, we say that a line is transversal if this intersects two or more lines, two or more coplanar lines at different points. So, yun yung alam nating definition last week. Now, for this week, specifically, we will learn these three competencies: to identify properties of angle pairs formed by parallel and transversal line. So, dito, focus na tayo sa parallel lines lang sa transversal. So, wala tayong mai-encounter na yung transversal, nagpa-pass through siya sa plane, sa coplanar lines na nag-i-intersect. So, puro lang tayo parallel lines then transversal. Una, alamin natin ano yung mga properties ng angle pairs na na-form kapag may ganun tayong situation or condition. Pangalawa, we have to prove theorems involving these angle pairs formed by parallel and transversal line. And the third one, solve problems involving angle pairs formed by parallel and transversal line. But for this video, I will just be limiting this with identifying properties of angle pairs. Kasi magagamit natin yun for proving, yung guided tayo ng two-column proof, and then in solving problems. So let's proceed to the first lesson. So first lesson is all about parallel lines and transversal that focuses on the property of corresponding angles. So meron tayo class tinatawag na CAP, C-A-P, the corresponding angles postulate. Ano bang sinasabi ng postulate na to? This simply states that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. So, in this example, we can see that lines L and M, so, meron tayong dalawang line. Line L and M are parallel lines, meaning they are coplanar, given na coplanar sila, at hindi sila nag-i-intersect. Then, it is cut by a transversal. And in this example, line T is our transversal. Bakit siya naging transversal? Because it intersects two lines. Two coplanar lines. It intersects two coplanar lines at two different points. Ano daw ang masasabi natin kapag may parallel lines tayong kinakat ng transversal? Yung corresponding angles niya ay congruent. Okay? So, yun yung nabubuo nating postulate. When we say postulate in geometry, these are statements that are considered, that are accepted true even without proof. So here, by notation, we will read this statement as, if line L is parallel to line M, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So, yan yung naka-notation. So, dito, if line L is parallel to line M, then yung angle 1 and 2 ay congruent. Bakit? Because angle 1 and 2 here are said to be corresponding angles. If you can recall the definition of corresponding angles last week, corresponding ang dalawang angles kapag yung isa ay interior, yung isa ay exterior, tapos yung angles, yung pair of angles na to ay nasa iisang side lang ng transversal. Ibig sabihin, they are lying on the same side of the transversal, and they must be non-adjacent. Kailan natin nasasabi na non-adjacent ulit? If the two angles do not have a common vertex or common side. So, check tayo doon, non-adjacent yung angles 1 and 2. Isa ay interior, yun yung angle 2. Yung isa ay exterior, yun yung angle 1. And then, both of them lie on the same side of the transversal. So, because they are corresponding and they are formed when a transversal cuts these two parallel lines, therefore, congruent sila. So, Bakit natin nasasabing congruent? Try to imagine yung sa line na to. If you try to lift line L, so halimbawa itong line L, ilalapag mo dito sa position nung line 2, iko-coincide pag lalapatin mo sila, pag-overlap mo sila, makikita natin that they are just simply forming same amount of angle rotation. Kaya, equal lang or congruent lang ang size ng dalawang angles. Okay? So, this is a postulate, so there's no need to prove that. So, next tayo. Meron din tayo class tinatawag na alternate interior angles theorem, AIAT. So, ang sinasabi naman, kapag meron tayong parallel lines na kinakat ng isang transversal, yan. So, dapat ang requirement, parallel lines ay cut ng transversal. Ang alternate interior angles naman na meron tayo doon, yung mga na-form na alternate interior angles, congruent din. So, ang alternate interior angle sa last week nating discussion, these are pairs of angles wherein they are non-adjacent. Tapos, both of them are interior, of course, and they must be on the opposite side of the transversal. So, in this example, ano yung mga pairs of alternate interior natin based on the definition of that pair of angle. So, angle 6, saka itong angle 3. Non-adjacent, tapos nasa interior region, and then they must be on the opposite side of the transversal. Second pair will be angle 4, and then angle 5. So, dahil itong angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 ay mga angles na na-form, kailan? Na-form sila, or paano? Na-form sila through parallel lines, lines L and M, na kinat ng isang transversal line. In this figure, it is named as line N. Okay, so that is AIAT. This is a theorem kasi pwede natin siyang ma-prove, or there's a need also to prove that. At ano yung mga magagamit nating properties, definition, or maybe existing postulates and theorems para ma-prove yan. So, meron tayong corresponding angle postulate, yung CAP kanina, the LPP, linear pair postulate, and then the VAT theorem, vertical angle theorem. Itong mga theorems na to, pwede natin magamit yung mga yan in order for us to prove the next theorems regarding angle pairs formed when there are parallel lines cut by transversal. So, ayan. Ito yung sample proof natin using two-column proof. Then next is the alternate exterior angles theorem. So, correction lang dito. This must be E. So, AEAT. So, ganun pa rin. Kung meron ka namang parallel lines na kinot ng transversal, yung pairs ng alternate exterior angles must also be congruent. So, syempre, parang alternate interior lang. Pinagkaiba, dapat yung pair of angles natin ay nasa exterior. So, kung halimbawa, pag nag-solve tayo ng problems involving those parang properties ng angle pairs, halimbawa dito sa example natin, we are to solve for the value of x. Since we can use the underlying theorem about alternate exterior angles in this case, na merong parallel lines kinakat ng transversal, tapos makikita natin yung pinapahanap sa atin, find the value of x, ay galing dito sa angle na to, tapos ito yung may given, we need to check their angle relationship. Yun class yung kahalagahan ng pag-identify ng angle relationship, and then its properties. Bakit? So, halimbawa, titingnan natin angle relationship nila, yung angle CBA, saka yung angle GD, at wala pang letter dito. Yan, tong angle na to, they are actually both exterior angles, at dahil sila ay nakalocate sa opposite side ng transversal line, then they are said to be alternate exterior angles. Now, anong masasabi natin kapag may alternate exterior angles tayong napo-form sa dalawang parallel lines na kinakat ng transversal? Of course, using this theorem, alternate exterior angles theorem, it states that these angles must be congruent. So, kung congruent naman pala sila, we can equate the two expression. So, we say that 3x minus 33 degrees is equal to 2x plus 26 degrees. And then, simplifying this equation, we can have x is actually equal to 26 plus 33. So, using addition property of equality, yan. So, nagsisimplify tayo. Therefore, x is equal to 59. Bakit natin pinag-equate na yung dalawang expression? Kasi, according to this theorem, they are just congruent. Okay? Next.